this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to Houses and Homes with dynamic Realtor Jerry Cahalan. Each week we will showcase new and innovative ideas to improve the value of your home in today's complicated market. Realtor Jerry is a licensed realtor in Palm Beach County and brings years of experience in many different real estate platforms. Today's show is being live streamed on Realtor Jerry's website, www.sellinsouthflorida.com. And all properties and shows are archived so you can watch and learn in the future this message this powerful show will bring. If you're looking to buy, sell, or rent, go to sellinsouthflorida.com or call 561-267-4499. And Realtor Jerry will help your dream become a reality. Now, let's get ready for Houses and Homes. Here's Jerry.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I am Jerry Cahalan with Exit Realty in Lake Worth. Today's guest is Cindy Galiardo from RE/MAX. Cindy is a short sale specialist, and she's going to give us a few ideas on the benefits and the ease or the difficulty of getting that done. There are plenty of short sales available in South Florida, and if you are considering going through that, Cindy's going to give you a couple of ideas of how to do that. We're going to get to Cindy in just a few minutes. The first thing I want to talk about this morning is searching for homes. Searching for homes is it's a difficult and aggravating and annoying process when it's done right. When it's done wrong, it's actually even more difficult. And how it's done wrong is searching in the wrong places. I was out looking at homes this weekend with one of my buyers. And she's looking for a place. She has all her different parameters. She knows exactly what it is she's looking for. The problem is where she's looking online to find her houses is not updated. It's behind by X amount of days. And with what's going on in today's real estate world in South Florida, the houses honestly, they're just flying off the market. So what was happening, she sent me the first house. She said, this is what I'm looking for. It's this price. It's this many bedrooms. This is the house that I want. So she sent it over to me, and I said, that's great. We'll go look at that on Saturday. Send me 10 other ones as well. And she said, well, I'm looking for this house. And I said, that's great. Send me 10 more. So she sent me off 10 more. I spent about an hour and a half researching them, trying to find exactly where they were so we could map it out and get to where we needed to be. And it turned out that of the 10 that she sent me, 5 were already under contract, 2 were off the market, and 1 was listed incorrectly. So we had next to no houses to go see. And Cindy, I'm sure that you've dealt with that as well, right?
Yes, all the time.
It's terrible. It's a waste of time for the buyer, and our time is pro bono until the close anyway. But you need to look in the right places. You need to look at a place that is up to date. There are a billion websites online that will allow you to search for houses. Whether or not they're up to date, that's a different story altogether. If you go to my website, my listing website, which is southfloridalistofhomes.com, southfloridalistofhomes.com, my website pulls the information directly from the MLS. So when Realtor A lists a property, it shows up. When it goes active contingent, it shows up that way. When it's off the market, temporarily expired, whatever the case may be, that shows up that day. So you're not spending your time looking and hoping and waiting and wishing that you can have that house when someone already bought it. It's southfloridalistofhomes.com. Go ahead and take a look at that. You can register, and I'll be more than happy to show you any houses that are currently available on the market right now. Now, for those who are at home, you can certainly log into my website to watch the show. You can also log into the website of my producer, which Freddie's the producer of the show, and the website is amp2tv.com, amp2tv.com. On the website, you not only get to watch my show live, you can also see archived versions of the show and other shows that Freddie produces as well here across South Florida. Now, when you are building your websites, it's always a good idea to have a professional behind you because, well, you know what? You're probably about as good as it as I am, and so you want to get a professional involved. You can go to Tom Beck's Media. Tom Beck's Media has worked on my website, that's sellinsouthflorida.com. And Tom has done a great job with my site. There's plenty of more things coming. So be sure to look for Tom Beck's Media to increase the quality of your website, to say the least. Now we're going to take a look quickly at what's going on in the Florida market. Right now in Florida, you'll be happy to know that Florida is the leader, the number one. Well, it's not that great in the foreclosure inventory, with 306,000 houses in some stage of foreclosure or bank-owned. We are proud owners of 25% of the national total. The number is basically unchanged from a year ago, but it is down from 18% from November of 2010. So we're making progress. The numbers are going up. The percentage is coming down. It's still incredibly bleak for many, many homeowners. And that's one of the reasons why we have Cindy here, Cindy from RE/MAX. She's going to tell us in a few minutes about short sales, the process, the benefits of it, and how to get it accomplished. Now, when we're looking overall at searching for homes, remember, exactly what you're looking for might not be available, but you always want to be open to other possibilities. Some people will say, well, if I don't have that fourth bedroom, I'm not interested in the house. It's a non-starter. If it doesn't have 4 bedrooms, I'm not coming. Or if it doesn't have 3 bathrooms, I'm not coming. Or if it doesn't have a half an acre, or this or that. You know, some houses have a lot more available than you might even consider. So be open to a few different changes. Think about what you may want, but more importantly, listen to your realtor. When they tell you that, you know, this is a property that you want to see, doesn't take much to just go out and see it. Cindy, you've dealt with that, right?
Yes, I have.
It's a difficult thing, because the house that you want, you know, if you're not going to build it yourself, then sometimes you have to take what's available, and you might be surprised. You might fall in love with a neighborhood that you never even knew existed. So when you are calling your realtor to get yourself into a new house, be sure that you know, you look a little bit outside your own box, because you might be amazed at what is actually available out there. Now, another way that you can search for houses, of course, is to use your mobile phone. Most people hang around and watch television, and they're fooling around on their phone, or you're at a stoplight, but not driving, of course. You're at a stoplight and you're checking your email, and maybe you want to see some information on houses that are in your area. You can text the word Jerry, Jerry, to 32323, and with that, you will be able to download my mobile app, which will give you information that comes up on the house that's in front of you, in the neighborhood around you, and you're able to find more information faster than you will writing the information down and going home and hoping that you remember the address or you got it written down right. Now, the one house that I do want to talk about, I talked about it a little bit last week. I'm going to talk about it again today. In fact, I told my producer, Freddie, that I'm going to continue to discuss this house until someone buys it. It is my goal to get this house sold. It is a fantastic house on the Wellington line in West Palm Beach. It's 2.5 acres. It has it's a tranquil setting in an urban area, because 4 minutes down the road you're in Wellington. Okay, it's got the oversized screened patio. It's got the 2-tier wood deck inside. It's got the chef's kitchen, the eat-in kitchen with the upgraded everything that's involved. The master bedroom has the whirlpool sink. You have to see it to believe it. It's on the Wellington line. It is listed at $659, and you really want to come take a look at that. If you're in the market for a house in that area, I want you to call me. I want you to call me today. Okay, my number is 561-267-4499. This is an unbelievable property, and it's going to be gone sooner or later. And maybe you're just going to have enough of me talking about it, and you're going to buy it to shut me up. And I'm okay with that. It is going to get sold, and it's going to get sold hopefully to one of my listeners. Now, we're going to take a little bit of a look at what goes on in the short sale world, because it used to be a long process. I was talking with Cindy before the show started. It used to be an extraordinarily long process, and now it's getting a little bit more streamlined. It's getting a little easier for people to get it accomplished. It's a lot different than the regular list and sell. There are a lot of different rules, a lot of different regulations, an entirely different world that's involved. If you're in foreclosure, you might think that your best option is to just simply walk away, is to just have had enough, and that's it. Now, that's probably not your best idea, right, Cindy?
That's right.
Now, when someone comes to you and they say, "Listen, I'm in foreclosure. Should I short sale my house?" What's the first thing that you look for an option for them?
Well, the first thing I would look for is how far along the foreclosure is, to make sure that judgment day is not just around the corner, because
That's probably bad.
then you've waited too long.
Yeah, absolutely.
The short sale, you have more control than a foreclosure. I mean, that's the thing with a foreclosure is you lose sleep at night. You don't know when that sheriff's going to knock at your door or when they're going to say it's time to go. At least with a short sale, you are still in control. You're the owner. You're going to decide who buys your house and when the closing date's going to be. There's a lot of incentives that are being given from the government. It's called the HAFA program. It's your primary residence. You're going to also be giving, believe it or not, money from the bank to move.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
You owe them extra. They're allowing you to give them less for it.
Yes.
And because you're so kind to give them so much less for what you owe, they're going to give you a couple of bucks to get
Right.
out.
They
And
want-
that's really what it is, right?
Right.
Get
Yes.
out and save
right.
us
So
some
you
money.
have money to move. Some people just don't even, they're in such dire straits, they don't even have the money to come up with first, last, and security, for instance, if they're going to a rental, which most people are at that point.
So that's why they would stay in their house, because they can't go anywhere else. They don't have
Correct.
the option.
Correct.
So the bank's going to give that extra money to
Right.
say, hey, listen, we're going to help you move on, and we're also going to save ourselves a lot
Right.
of money in legal fees.
You know, and during that time period, of course, you stop paying your mortgage payments. So if you're smart, you're going to put that money away. So you start to build a little nest egg. And the advantage of a short sale, it's not going to hit your credit as hard as a foreclosure. Right now, the banks are starting to give loans to people that have a short sale as little as 2 years ago.
Wow.
Their credit has built back up and they're ready to buy again. I'm already seeing that. Buyers coming to me that short sold their home, they saved up a little nest egg, and they're ready to go back into it now that the market has adjusted.
And that's really surprising, because 5 years ago, when the whole world was crashing down on us, if you even had the inkling of going the foreclosure or the short sale, that was it. You're done for 7 years, right?
Correct.
So now they're
Correct.
making it a little bit easier for us. One of the
Yes.
interesting things about the foreclosure market right now, it's actually, some people think if they don't pay their mortgage for 2 months, that's it. The sheriff's coming to knock on their door, right?
No.
The surprising stat came out that right now, for fourth quarter in Florida, it took 944 days for the average foreclosure to come through. And
Right.
that's just a tremendous amount of time. I mean, it's almost 3 years that someone hasn't paid their mortgage
Right.
for them to finally lose it. That's a lot of time for someone to actually
Sure.
get in with the short sale. We're going to go to break we're going to run a couple of commercials. We're going to be right back. We're going to spend a little more time talking with Cindy about the short sale process and how you can accomplish it. We'll be right back.
Houses and Homes with Realtor Jerry is a show dedicated to keeping and improving the value of your property. If you are thinking of buying, selling, or holding property, Realtor Jerry and his weekly guests will keep you up to date on important actions and trends in today's real estate world. For more information, call Realtor Jerry at 561-267-4499 or visit the website www.sellinsouthflorida.com. And let's get your property working for you. 561-267-4499 is the number you need to call for all your real estate needs. Just ask for Realtor Jerry.
Are you looking to buy a home in Palm Beach County? Well, finding a new home just got a whole lot easier. You can now have the MLS of Palm Beach County in the palm of your hand on your mobile phone using a new and completely free real estate app. Here's how it works. You're driving through a neighborhood that you'd like to live in. You pull up the app on your phone, and the app uses the GPS on your phone and pulls up all the available homes in the area. When you see a house you're interested in, just click it and get instant information, including price and pictures. You can even schedule a showing. To get this free app, just text Jerry to 32323. Again, just text Jerry to 32323. No more driving around for hours looking for sale signs or wasting time online looking at listings. Just text Jerry to 32323 and you will soon see how simple finding a new home in Palm Beach County can be. Or, if you prefer, you can call Realtor Jerry direct. His number, 561-267-4499. Realtor Jerry knows Palm Beach, so if you're looking to buy, sell, or even rent, give him a call, 561-267-4499. But for the free real estate app, just text Jerry to 32323.
Today's real estate market is complicated in buying, selling, or just maintaining your investment. A mistake in purchase can cost you thousands of dollars, and selling below market value is never a good idea. Now, here's Realtor Jerry, who will show you how to buy and sell in today's real estate market. Get ready to call in at 888-721-0074 and find out how Jerry can help you pick the right solutions to your real estate questions. Here's Jerry.
All right, we're back. We're here with Cindy Galiardo from RE/MAX. You can go to Cindy's website. It is cindygaliardo.com. That's CINDYGALIARDO.com. And for short sale information directly, you can call Cindy at 561-703-1023. Now, Cindy, during the break, we were talking a little bit more about the short sale process and all that, and it really is an interesting process that people go through, and pretty much, unless you're a short sale specialist, even realtors, it's a foreign process overall. So let's say I'm a homeowner, I've been in foreclosure for a year and a half, I know that there's no way I'm getting back out, or maybe I don't want to, and I come to you and I say, Cindy, I'm in a little bit of trouble here. I think short selling might be something that I would like to do. Where do we start?
Well, the first thing you do is you put that house on the market, number one. And then you contact the bank and you let them know this is what you're doing. That way they stop the short sale process and it goes to what they call the loss mitigation department.
Loss mitigation, everyone's favorite department to call, everyone's favorite.
And once it's there, you've stopped the foreclosure and now you're in control once again.
Okay.
The bank's going to want some items from you depending on who they are. The minimum is usually recent pay stubs and bank statements and sometimes tax returns.
Okay, and that's to show that you most likely cannot or will not be able to get the house out of foreclosure.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. And sometimes that's not even the case. Sometimes the buyer or the seller doesn't even want to pay for it, even though they can, because it just makes no sense to continue paying for something that's worth half of what they owe on it.
That's actually something we talked about on last week's show, the amount of houses just here in Florida that are so deeply underwater that it just doesn't make any sense to pay it. It's unfortunate. It's not good for the banks. It's not good for the economy. But at the same time, you know, if the place is worth $1.50 and you're in for $3,
right, it makes no sense.
What are you going to do?
Right. So the banks realize this now, and they realize it's a lot better for them to let the house go into short sale because it's going to be kept up better than letting it, foreclose. Especially here in South Florida, you have no power on. I've seen so many houses in the summertime where mold is growing because there hasn't been utilities for months on end. So
with people living in the house?
No, when people have just abandoned them, for instance, right?
They walked away.
They just walked away and they just left it.
And in that
and you
lovely
have,
Florida humidity.
I've seen air conditioning units disappear from the outside because, people know that no one's been in the house. So they want them protected by the homeowner, and that's why they'll cooperate, regardless of your personal circumstances nowadays. And then with the government incentive, with the HAFA, not only will you get moving money, but they also have the debt forgiveness on the taxable income, because when you lose that money to the bank, you are taxed on that for not paying it back.
And that's something that I think a lot of homeowners are afraid of as well. Now, if somebody owes, let's just use the example I used, $300, and they short sale it for $150. Now, what happens to that other $150? Do they have to pay that back later?
That's a taxable income, sure. But right now they've extended it another year. Obama extended that another year that will be waived. You do not have to pay tax on that money.
That was big news just a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, yes, and that's very important. So that's why another reason you want to get that done now. And that's a big incentive because IRS liens never go away. You can't file bankruptcy to get out of that, which brings up another point. If you're going to do a short sale and you're thinking about bankruptcy, do not file your bankruptcy until after the short sale is complete, because I had a short sale ready to go to the closing. We had an agreed amount from the bank. And when the loss mitigation ran title search, they saw the homeowner had filed for bankruptcy. It stops everything.
Awful.
And you would think, why should they care? But for some reason, that matters to them, and you cannot have a bankrupt. It has to be totally discharged. So I had one homeowner actually ended up staying a whole nother year in his house. Some ways
staying a year where he didn't want to be.
Right, and he wanted to move on, but we could not even put it back on the market. We lost that buyer, and we had to start from square one, and he had to give them all new paperwork again, updated bank statements, etc. So yeah, you don't want to file the bankruptcy, even and I even had an attorney tell him, oh, that won't affect the short sale. You got to understand, a real estate attorney is not a bankruptcy attorney. A lot of the bankruptcy attorneys don't realize the laws that are involved with the real estate.
They're very different.
Yes.
They're very different.
Yes.
And having the right attorney is always a fantastic idea.
Correct.
And certainly if someone were to contact you, either by phone at 561-703-1023 or by going to your website, cindygaliardo.com, you could help them out with that. I'm sure that you have specific lawyers that you work with, that you've built relationships with over the year, that you trust to do the thing right.
Well, my RE/MAX service is actually owned by a real estate attorney, Stephen Serrell, and he has a whole department for us. So we're kind of like a one-stop shop.
Well, that certainly makes things a lot easier as well. Now, when it comes down to how long the process takes, so I contact you on January 1st, and I say I got to do this. All right, I'm done. Here's my white flag. Help me out with this, Cindy. How long is it going to take? Not including does it take to actually find a buyer for the house, but how long does the process take to even get started? Is it something that happens, can you get it done and set up in a week? Or does it take months back and forth corresponding with the banks to get it done?
You could get it opened with the bank within a week. And then you're going to find out what forms they want you to fill out, certain affidavits. If you already have a contract, they're going to want to see that the buyer is not like your brother or your mother. It's got to be, it cannot be an arm's length transaction.
That's very 2004 of you.
Yeah. And then once that starts, it depends how busy the bank is, how many files they have piled up. So, that could take, on an average, we're seeing 6 months at the most anymore.
6 months to go through the whole process
to be totally closed. Right.
From beginning to end.
Right. And usually you get a buyer right away with short sales because the seller is not going to be concerned about what the bottom line is, what the sale price is. So when you list it, you want to list it very competitively because you want to get that contract in. That's the most important thing because that's what gets the ball rolling with the bank. That's when they'll get their appraiser out there. Of course, they're going to find out what the market value is. And
absolutely,
the house will sell generally for less than market value because they want to move it. So,
they want to move it quickly, so it'll be less. But geez, with the investors that are out there today, these short sales aren't staying on the market very long.
Right, correct.
They're going on, and sometimes you've got a bidding war.
Exactly.
And, I was looking at a property last week, and it was listed at it sold for 160. The listing price was 65,000.
Right.
And one investor comes in, another comes in, and then everyone says, "Well, if he wants it, I want it. I know that guy." And it's almost like.
Now, that was a foreclosure?
Yeah.
Okay. See, the short sale, the advantage I tell my buyers is most of the time you have an affidavit, the short sale affidavit, and you say that the owner is not going to accept any other bid. So you are the only person negotiating with the bank. So the bank will come back and say after the appraisal, well, we need this much to net after all expenses. In other words, the real estate commission, back homeowners' dues, property taxes, title, closing, all of that. And so sometimes the buyer has to come up a little, and it's worth it.
Sometimes the buyer's going to bring a little bit more to the
That's
table.
right. Sometimes the buyer has to kick in a little bit of the back homeowners' dues. just to make the deal happen, because
And
they
you're getting
have,
the house at a lower price
exactly,
anyway,
and
so
they
it's
have to
worth it.
realize that, right? The bottom
Absolutely.
line is the net. So
Well, that's fantastic information, Cindy. I certainly appreciate you coming by the show today. I'm sure my listeners do as well. For those again who are interested in finding out more about the short sale, or who have listened to the show and said, that's probably me. I probably can do this and not be so afraid about it. You can contact Cindy. You can call her on her cell phone at 561-703-1023, or you can get her at her website at cindygaliardo.com. That's CINDYGALIARDO.com. I'm just going to talk a little bit about, we're almost out of time here, about investment properties, investors in general. I have a few different investors that I'm working with that are interested in buying fix them up, handyman houses, places that need a little bit of work. If you have a house, and this is actually pretty common, I've found, if you have a house out there and you want to sell it, but you don't think anyone's going to buy it because it needs just so much work, and you don't know exactly what you're going to do with it, and you wish you had the money to fix it, but you don't have the money to fix it, and because of that, you don't think anyone's going to buy it, and so you're just kind of sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to call me. All right, once again, my number is 561-267-4499. Okay, you're going to call me. I've got investors that are waiting by their phone for me to call them to say, I've got a house for you to buy. These guys come in, they will do the work. Okay, all that stuff that you look around, you wish you fixed the kitchen floor, you wish the stove worked, you wish the bathroom wasn't all knocked out, you wish you had better windows, whatever the case may be. The roof is leaking. How many of those, right, Cindy?
right.
How many roofs are leaking out there, and you can't sell it because the water's dripping in, and now the floor's warped, and you're just having a terrible time. You got to give me a call, okay? 561-267-4499. Investors are waiting by the phone right now for me to call them, to give an address, to come out to look at it, to close quickly on the house. Okay, that's how it goes. Now, we've got about 60 seconds here left. Make sure you tune in next week. We're going to have in a windows specialist to tell you all about the benefits of impact windows, the tinting on the windows, and how much the upgrades can cost and what they can add to your house. Once again, my name is Realtor Jerry Cahalan. I am at Exit Realty Premier in Lake Worth. You can go to my my website, sellinsouthflorida.com, and find out more about how I'm going to sell your house. If you have any questions about anything that has to do with real estate, give me a call, 561-267-4499. You need some short sale information, Cindy Galiardo is the person that you want to call, and you can email her at go to her website at cindygaliardo.com. Hope everyone has a fantastic Monday, and we will see you back here next Tuesday. Have a great day, everybody.
The traffic is stuck, and you're not moving anywhere. You thought you found a friend to take you out of this.
You've been listening to Realtor Jerry, and he has shared his views on how to survive in today's real estate market. Join Jerry next week and learn that buying right makes the difference. Realtor Jerry will bring you more concepts and ideas and wants to hear from you next week. Remember, go to Jerry's website, www.sellinsouthflorida.com, and see our archive shows to learn more. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
My mama told me, son, always be a good boy. Don't